All right, everyone. So, new week, new biomolecule. Last week, we were speaking about carbohydrates. That was our first biomolecule. So, now we're going to move on to proteins. So, just like with the last one, let's first talk about what they're used for and also where they come from. So, protein can come from a lot of different sources. The obvious ones being meats, other animals like chicken, pork, beef, fish, but also a lot of animal products like cheese, milk, eggs are also high in protein, and some other non-animal based foods like nuts, also lentils, beans, vegetables to an extent have some protein as well. So for all of you who may be vegetarian or pescatarian like myself, there are lots of other ways that we can get our protein other than just meat-based. Okay, so what are proteins used for? In the body, proteins are mainly used to build and repair body tissues. So making new skin cells, hair, muscles. If you're working out, which hopefully everyone still is doing at home, when you do workouts, you get these really tiny muscle tears. So the protein in your body that you're consuming is then being used to rebuild those muscle tissues. And we're also going to talk about enzymes. So I know we've heard this before. And as a reminder, enzymes are catalysts that help speed up chemical reactions in the body. But some enzymes in our bodies are proteins as well. Okay, and with every biomolecule, we have to talk about what it is made up of. What are the smaller parts, the atoms and the monomers, and then what do those monomers connect together to form? What types of polymers? So proteins are made of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen atoms. And there's no ratio like there were for carbohydrates. They can be in different combinations. And a monomer of a protein is called an amino acid. So amino acids like alanine, there's an example over here, can have certain characteristics that are always the same, and then there's a piece that can always be different. But one characteristic that they all have is this central carbon atom. Remember, carbon loves to form 4 covalent bonds. So this setup for an amino acid works for carbon. So let's take a look at what amino acids always contain. Again, they always have a central carbon atom. One covalent bond is always shared with one hydrogen atom. One covalent bond is always shared with what's called an amino group. So that's a nitrogen atom connected to 2 hydrogens. A carboxyl group, which is a carbon that is bonded to an oxygen here and an OH over here. And then we have in red what's called an R group. So we can pretty much fill in the blank with a whole combination of atoms on this side. For each amino acid, it has a different R group. So that's what makes them different from one another and gives them their own unique properties. So for amino acids, the yellow, blue, green part, this all stays the same. It's just the red R group that varies. So we talked about monomers of proteins. Those are amino acids. But what are the polymers? So we have 2 options here. Dipeptides. So remember, di means 2, and polypeptides, which means many. So we can have dipeptides, which are 2 amino acids bonded together, or polypeptides. And that's when we have 3 or more of these amino acids bonded together. And the bonds that connect them together are called peptide bonds. So that's a new vocabulary word for us this lesson. Remember, when we have two monomers, so two amino acids, combining together, bonding to form a polymer, that is called a condensation reaction. So the two monomers bond together and it kicks out a molecule of hydrogen. So when we have these long chains of amino acids bonded together, these are called polypeptides. Damn. Hello.